love and marriage, love and marriage.
It is an all too common complaint from women. Men just don't listen well. Happens in my house all the time. What time did you say we have to leave? But the question is it because men and women are truly wired differently? Dr. Audrey Nelson is the author of Code Switching, How to Talk So Men Will Listen. And Dr. Nelson is here this morning to answer some common questions for us. Nice to have you in Chicago. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
We should mention that Dr. Nelson does seminars for Fortune 500 companies, teaching people how to communicate properly at work and at home. So the big question is, are we wired that differently, men and women?
We are wired differently, and it's the whole nature-nurture. But men and women have different brains. They're wired differently. For example, women are much better of going left to right brain hemisphere, and this happens to be the catalyst that ignites language acquisition. That explains why little girls in kindergarten and first grade are much more, they're talk more, and they're more verbally equipped.
Okay.
So we are wired different. Men have bigger brains, but bigger is not
necessarily better, right?
Even though we're the culture of bigger is better. And we have tried to explain it. Well, is it because men are big that they have bigger brains? So there's also the quantity versus quality issue. And there are different regions of the brain. For example, the region of women's brain, which we tend to be good at interpersonally, for empathy and compassion is larger.
Okay.
And
of course, men are going to say, well, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
But that doesn't mean that men don't feel or have feelings or can't be empathetic. They can be.
All right, so then what is the key? So how do we communicate better?
Sure. The key is to understand the differences. And there's no right or wrong. And there are many differences. One that stirs a lot of controversy between men and women is men tend to be direct. And they're literal communicators.
Bottom line, just tell me. Actually, Phil Shorts was saying earlier, just tell me yes or no, honey.
Yes. and we call it the pyramid style. He asks you a question, she wants to tell you a story.
We want to discuss it.
We want to discuss it. Well, I have
What's
the numbers
wrong with
by
that?
noon. No, cut to the chase. We always say, it's important to say it in a nanosecond for a man. Yes or no, one sentence, done.
So is that what we have to do? Do we have to kind of boil it all down for them?
We have to boil it down.
Because they have they have a bigger brain. I was going to say they have a smaller brain, but they don't.
But it's how men like it. And then, another big one is listening.
Okay, exactly.
The number one.
Okay, now here's my question. Why is it that they can watch sports and remember all the stats about every player, but yet you tell them, honey, I got to run out for an hour, feed the baby at this time, and they can't remember that?
That women can multitask because we're always doing two behaviors. We've got two work shifts, at home and outside. So that's one of the things given for that.
All right. Okay. Very interesting read, I have to tell you. So check out this book. It is called Code.
Love and